Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy November? Yes, November. Today we're going to talk about my October favorites, and this is a good one. Okay, so we have 3 matchas and 1 hojicha that I loved in the month of October. We're going to start with the matcha. First up, we have Nami Matcha's Kana First Harvest Matcha from Shizuoka. This, I believe, is still unreleased to the public. I think, yeah, it's not available on the website. I'll double check to make sure, but I will link the website down below anyway if she did happen to release it. But this was kindly gifted to me to just try. I really like this one. It's very, very different from all of the other matchas. So the Yame one and the Okomidori one, this one is very different, and the best way that I can describe it is that it tastes very refreshing and kind of like you took a trip to the farmer's market. I think is the best way that I can describe it because it's so fresh and it's more on the vegetal side, and it does remind me of like grape or cherry tomatoes, like not specifically like the taste of it, maybe like the essence of it you kind of get in this as a hojicha and as a latte. You kind of get like a little hint of that vegetal tomato like flavor, but it was still bold. Like the matcha flavor is pretty bold, and it also was slightly sweet and creamy. There was like some umami, and as a latte I got like a little bit notes of nuttiness in it, which of course I'm always a sucker for. So I feel like this one was pretty complex in my opinion, as in there was like a lot of different notes that I was like discovering throughout trying it as a hojicha and as a latte. And then I actually brought this with me to Tennessee, where I just came back from, and I tried it with this creamer just because I wanted to try it. We don't have it here in Hawaii, so I was like, oh, I want to try it. But the really cool thing is when I tried it as a latte with this matcha, you could really taste like the white chocolate notes come out a little bit more, and then the vegetal notes became a little bit more tame, but it was so delicious. And I was honestly so surprised that more like white chocolate was coming out in it when I used that. So yeah, it just kind of goes to show, like, depending on like what you use with your lattes, like sweeteners, syrups, or just plain, it can really alter and change the taste or like bring out different notes like it brought out for the white chocolate for me. Yeah, all in all, I feel like this was such a good one. Very different, and very different for me because I'm not a vegetal girly. Like, I don't really like that typically in matchas, but I really enjoyed the complexity of this one. And I will say the vegetal isn't super intense. So if you also don't like vegetal like me but still want to try this, I think you'll still enjoy it because I think there's different layers of notes to it. All right, next up we have Ryokō matcha. This is their Asahi single origin first harvest matcha. This one I talked about in my previous video of trying underrated matchas, and this is truly an underrated matcha. I can't get this out of my head because of how good it is, and kind of similar to what I was talking about with the nami matcha, this one had notes of snap pea in it. This one was very umami. It was sweet, it was creamy, and I love umami, but for me it has to be done a certain way, kind of similar to like vegetal. Like, I don't typically like umami where it's like oceanic and very like salty or like very like oceany, like seaweedy. I don't typically gravitate towards that, but when umami is done right, like this one, I really enjoy it. And I loved that it was sweet and it was creamy, umami, had like a hint of snap pea that was really refreshing, and I really enjoyed this one. I was honestly so surprised. I've tried their other one too, and I also really enjoyed that. It was also very umami, but this one like is a step above that one where it was sweet and creamy, and I definitely would prefer this one over the other one. Okay, and then last for the matcha, this is Motte matcha, and mot means one in Vietnamese. And this is from Shizuoka, Japan. And the tasting notes are earthy and umami. So this one, kind of similar to the Ryokō one, it had very nice umami notes to it. It was very creamy, very smooth and easy to drink as sucha, and it was a little bit more earthy and had hints of grassy notes to it as sucha. As a latte, this is kind of where I tasted more of like the white chocolate notes come out. And this one isn't super bold, because in a latte, the matcha was a little bit more on the light bodied side, so it wasn't super bold as a latte or as a yusucha, but it still had a really nice flavor, and I really enjoyed the umami paired with the white chocolate notes and just how smooth and easy it was to drink this one. So this tin is completely empty. And then for our hojicha that I loved in the month of October, this is Daylight Matcha's Evening Glow Uji Premium Hojicha. This hojicha is very mellow, and I feel like it really matches the name of this, which is like the evening glow, and I feel like that just gives like a very like calming sound to it, and that's exactly what I experienced with this hojicha. It was very mellow. It wasn't super deep or bold in like the roastedness or in the bitterness or any of those categories, so it was very light. It was very very soothing. Like this bottle or this tin actually says that it's very mellow, toasty, and soothing. And I feel like mellow and soothing is probably the best way I can describe this. Is it was very mellow and it was light, but there was like just the right amount of hojicha like roastedness to it, and I got like hints of cocoa in there, and I really like this one. It's a very tame and mellow hojicha powder for like an evening drink where you're just really winding down for the night. Or also if you want to get into hojicha, I think this is a good one that I'd recommend you can start with, because also the bitterness isn't super intense, so you won't be scared by that. But it has like a pretty medium brown to it, so I thought it would be a little bit more intense, but it was actually very mellow, so I quite enjoyed this one. Okay, so those were all of my matcha and hojicha favorites for the month of October. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this gave you guys new matchas and hojicha brands to try out. Again, thank you to all of these brands for sending me this matcha. Know that I have no obligation to talk about it or to share, but that I truly do love these brands, and I love the matcha and hojicha that I've tried. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next month. Bye.